So they're going along in the Garden of Eden, and they're learning how to love unconditionally, how to love God with all their heart, how to love another human being. And Satan comes in and takes that place of learning. He takes that place, that beautiful place of learning, and he turns it into a battlefield. Now all of a sudden, because of sin in our flesh or our sinful nature that has suddenly been exposed, we exist in the same place as we do. We have the same purpose that we had in the Garden of Eden, except now we have to fight for every bit of ground that we make. If it was our purpose in the Garden of Eden to learn to love God and love mankind, and it was happening and it was beautiful and it was perfect, if that was the purpose, it still remains the purpose. Nothing's changed. It still remains the purpose. Satan came in with his lies and his deceptions, and he got Eve to rebel against God. He deceived her. And he created a war. And the war rages within our heart for dominance. Now all of a sudden, are we not just naturally only exposed to Christ and his love, but we're also exposed to Satan and the choice to do the opposite. John 3:19. It tells us, "This is the verdict. Light has come into the world, but men loved darkness instead of light because their deeds were evil. Everyone who does evil hates the light and will not come out into the light for fear that his deeds will be exposed." Satan's platform is a platform of darkness. And why do I say that? Our flesh loves Satan's platform. Because on Satan's side, we don't have to deal with anything and we don't have to change anything. On Satan's side, we can quietly live with our own sin. We can quietly live with the pampering of our flesh. And there's no demand for any change. If we cast our vote towards Christ and we cast our vote towards the light, what happens is when we begin to obey the laws of God, the light of Christ shines deeper and deeper into our hearts and begins to expose things that we don't want to deal with. It begins to shed light and it demands us to change. That's why we can be Christians and be miserable. I remember when I came to the place, and it wasn't very long ago, probably less than 10 years ago. And I was never like a miserable person. I've had a wonderful life. But I can remember coming to that place of just going, God, where's the joy unspeakable and full of glory? You know? And I'm just like, where's the peace that passes all understanding? Where's all this stuff that the Bible talks about that your followers will have? They will know me by my love. And it's like, God, I don't even feel very nice toward my own kids sometimes. How am I supposed to love the world? But then I'm that one that goes why and how and why and how and why and how until I get it down. It doesn't make it easy to follow. But I began this process with God where I was with him and I was just like, God, do you know what I'm talking about? I know you, and I look around me and it's just like I'm miserable and everybody else is miserable around us. Why don't you find Jesus and join our bunch? You know? I started to feel that. And as a pastor's wife, I'm just like, God, it's got to happen here first. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's got to happen here first. It's like, I can't. So God began to do a transformation inside of me. But you know what he said to me? When one night, and I can remember being in my bedroom on my floor, and I don't know if you guys do that. I hope you do. I hope when you're at the end of yourself that you find yourself in your room with your door closed before God. Because there's no other great place to be than before him. But guess what? When you do get in your face before God in your room, the light's going to start shining. So you're going to have to be strong, and you're going to have to fess up to who you really are. Okay? But don't worry, the great physician is very capable. You're in good hands. But I was saying to God, I was just like, God, how come everybody's miserable around me? How come nobody, how come I'm miserable and I'm anxious and I'm worried about money and I'm worried about this and I'll cast my cares on him, and there was all this stuff, and it was just like, I just was going on and on and on and crying and carrying on to God and complaining to God about stuff. And when I finally quit and was quiet so I could hear him, I said, God, when is this going to happen? I remember saying it that way. When is this going to happen? The promises. God doesn't yell. God goes, when you start obeying. He always whispers to me because he wants me to be quiet long enough to really hear him. He said to me and to my heart, when you start obeying. And at that time, I didn't completely grasp what that meant. Well, God, what do you mean obey? What do you mean obey? I'm obeying, it's like I'm married, I got kids, I'm a pastor's wife, I'm reading my Bible. What do you mean by obey? And he began to show me the sin of Eve. And he began to show me the lack of trust I had for him. That when it came to things like money and these different things, it's like I wasn't in a position where I was just going to say, where I really was going to cast my cares on him. I needed to start obeying blindly, innocently like a child. Begin to obey the things of God. That's what's gotten me to where I am this weekend. And this thing that I want to share with you. This battle that goes on every single day, every moment of every day for the dominance of our hearts. And God began to show me a very beautiful, beautiful picture. He began to show me how ingenious he is. Now, of course, we know God is a genius, don't we? God is a genius. Say that he is. Yeah. All right. God began to show me how genius he is. It was like if our purpose in life is to learn to love God and love people. And now, all of a sudden, we're in a world where that seems really out of reach. Because to truly love people and love God is very difficult. We're drawn to this platform of Satan. We're drawn to pride. We're drawn to selfish ambition. We're drawn to the sins and the passions of our flesh. We want to hide away in the darkness of it and be like, okay, I'm going to do everything right on the outside, but inside there's this part, and I'm just going to keep that quiet with me. But God's just going, you know what? It can't be. It's got to be all or nothing. Humility. Wherever Christ is, wherever love is, pride is quieted. It's extinguished. The flesh is quieted. Wherever did I say that right? I'm sorry. Wherever love and humility is, pride and selfish ambition are extinguished. Wherever selfish ambition and pride exalt themselves, love and humility are extinguished. Do you see this battle? Do you see this constant war that's waged within our minds and hearts for this dominance? As Christians, we're on this journey to allow Christ to govern our heart. God, in his perfect plan, did not abandon us. He did not say to us, okay, here you go. Satan came in, you blew it, you sinned, and now you're going to be in this constant battle forever, and you're just going to end up really messed up. Sorry about that. We'll see you at the other side. Maybe you'll make it. I know some of you feel that way. Your whole world's fallen apart. Your world has fallen apart. You're like, where's God in all this? Where's he going? Where is he bringing me? How did I get here? How did I get here? God put together a system that would force us. He put us into different arenas that would force us to choose to grow. To grow either in him or to grow in the world. That's the only choices that we have when we're growing. And it's those arenas that I want to focus on tonight, just real quick. If you think about an arena,